Welcome to the MSP Corner podcast. Before we kick off our show, we would like to share what our main objective is at the MSP Corner. Our main goal is to help CEOs build profitable and self-sustainable IT service firms. We are not just providing tools for IT firms, we will be sitting in meetings with you to ensure your IT firm stays on track. The first area we are focused on, strategic sales. IT firms are stuck selling technology or IT support. We will provide you with the blueprint so you position your firm as an added value to your prospects. We will have framework on how to sell value so you influence the prospect into selecting your firm. The second area we see many IT firms struggle in is marketing. 90+% of businesses rely on antiquated marketing methods. The most popular choice, word of mouth. We have proven methods on how to attract the ideal prospect. Our framework will include how to become the online authority and be the business influencer for an industry. The third component to our package, scaling. IT firms walk away from opportunities because they lack the bandwidth or skill set to scale. We have lined up reputable businesses so our members can hire on-demand resources that will allow them to scale their business. The fourth area we will offer help in, selecting the right tools. In order to deliver value, you need the right tech stack. Our platform will offer information on products that are the ideal choice for MSPs. The fifth area we will offer help in is with documentation. Templates are a critical component when building an MSP. We will have contracts, proposals, SOWs, collateral, and much more in the template section. You will have every document you need to start up your managed IT service business. Thank you for tuning in. Let's go to our next podcast. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning into our podcast. I am your host, Fernando Leon, and I'm joined by my co-host, Gregory Moravietz, excuse me. And today we're going to discuss next week's show because we got a live show coming up. It's every month. It's the last Thursday of every month. So mark your calendars. The link to the show is always the same, at least, the Teams link will always be the same. So if you care to stay, to join us, it's the last Thursday of every month. We will not miss unless I'm sick or dead or there's a tragedy on my end. I'll be there. All right. So today is a preview of next week's show, the Expert Corner October 2024 series. But before we get started, let's quickly go over today's agenda. And like every agenda, we have an introduction of what we're going to be discussing, et cetera, et cetera. But the other talking points are targeted marketing, framework for success, segmentation. Why is that so important? Engaging content. What are you going to avoid, right? There's going to be something you need to avoid in all email marketing campaigns. Best practices, metrics, pitfalls, and we'll conclude with targeted emails. And we'll have a quick plug on the MSP Corner and what we're trying to achieve out here. That's the main goal. Our main goal is to provide you guys with educational materials so you guys run a sustainable IT business. Sales are important. You have to generate sales because that's what keeps your business alive. And obviously, you need to bring value to your organization. There's just no way around it. So, all right. So let's start off with an introduction. So next week, obviously, is the monthly Expert Corner live show. And we plan to today, we're just going to give you a preview of what to expect next week. We do this every month, the week before the show. We're going to give you guys a podcast. We're going to produce a podcast So you guys know what's coming up. But next week's show, it's going to be on the best practices for creating an effective and successful email marketing campaign because you can do it. I've helped other CEOs implement marketing campaigns. One group is doing okay. The other group is, well, they're producing a lead every week. Every week they're coming up. They have a request for a meeting. So, and they're only spending 200 and maybe $200 a month on the email marketing campaign, and obviously their time. But this is a turnkey solution where you just plug and play. You just plug in the message, and it's all automated. Sends out messages, and you guys can start generating leads. But whether you're new to email marketing or looking to refine your strategy, we're going to discuss key tips that can boost not only engagement, but we want to drive results. This is a results driven business, right? Who cares if you have a strategy if there's no results, right? I mean, that's what you want at the end of the day is you want results. You want conversions. Leads are great. People coming to your website, visitors are, yeah, that's great and all, but what's the end result? Are they converting? Are they requesting to meet with you? Now, from segmenting your audience for personalized outreach to we're going to be discussing crafting compelling subject lines and balancing. This is the really important part, balancing content between education and promotion. It's a very we clearly define what you need to do. And we're going to share some actionable insights to enhance these campaigns. So tune in next week as we explore these strategies. But we're going to give you guys some broad strokes today. Nothing too deep, but we'll have some interesting topics that might pique your interest. So first up is targeted marketing and the importance of targeted marketing or targeted email marketing, right? Why do CEOs of IT service firms need to focus on targeted email marketing? Because, well, it's a high ROI, especially for IT service firms. You you do not want to be creating generic messaging. And that's something that we're going to be given in our packet. We have a packet that we're producing, and in that packet, it's going to have a targeted email campaign, a 10-day email marketing campaign. And this packet can be a one-time purchase. I mean, it's going to have a lot of information in there. If you want to do cold calling campaign, it'll have a cold calling list or a cold calling script. But what's more important, and I'll stick to our topic today, it'll have a 10-day email marketing educational marketing campaign. And you can use it, right? Because it's going to be targeting a specific industry. Now, it might not be an industry you're targeting. So, what I'm going to suggest is we're going to have packages where you can meet with us each month and we'll walk you through creating targeted messaging because targeted messaging is going to improve not only the open rate but it's going to drive conversions. So remember, we were talking about results. We want results. And the key thing that I would like to emphasize is personalization is key to engaging busy decision makers. You have to speak their language. You have to create messaging that's customer centric because if you don't, it's going to fall on deaf ears. And if you're talking about let's say you're a personal trainer and you're sending messages about how to eat healthy to only healthy, to healthy people that already eat healthy. No one's going to read it. They already eat healthy. They don't care. It's got to go to people who don't eat healthy, right? So you have to think about your audience. What are you going to say to them that's going to generate interest? That's one of the key reasons a lot of email marketing campaigns fail is because of messaging. And there's going to be another
pitfall that you can fall into that can be detrimental to your campaign. But we'll hit that topic in a little bit. Now, the framework for success. Well, segmentation is going to be key, right? You want to target an audience based on industry, size. You want to know their pain points, obviously, and obviously you want to target companies in your area. This is a relationship type of business, guys. You are working to build trust. And yes, you can easily meet with businesses in your area that you're targeting because they're what uh, 10, 20, 30 minutes away. So think about who you're going to target. You got to segment your list so you speak their language, you speak their challenges, their pain points. When you start to when your message is relatable, when your message is touching on a topic that's important to them, you're going to have better results. Because if you don't, it's just going to go in the trash. You don't want that, obviously. So that's one of the pieces of framework that we're talking about. The other two will be personalization, content focus, and we'll dive into that on the expert corner. But for next is again, we're going to emphasize segmentation, right? Because you're going to want to break down your audience for maximum engagement. You're going to want to really nail down a specific industry that you know very well, you know their biggest challenges, their biggest struggles. And if, like I was saying earlier, if you can speak their language, you're going to have better results. And yeah, the more specific your segments, the higher your engagement rates are going to be because you know clients need to be, or prospective clients want to speak to experts in their field. If you're a jack of all trades and you might hit a nerve with one of them, you might say something in your message that's not even that's not even um, has been personalized for them. Let's just say, hey, are you having computer problems? And you might get a bite, right? You might get somebody who's interested, who's having computer problems, and I can assure you that he's going to interview you and probably two or three other MSPs. And those one of those other MSPs is going to be an expert in their industry. You do not want to compete with MSPs that are who are targeting a specific industry because they know their biggest challenges, they know how to solve their problems, they know how to speak their language, and when they do that, they build credibility much faster. They build trust much faster, and that rapport just grows even stronger over time. So you have to be very careful with, your approach. You don't want to have a shotgun approach because you're going to compete with MSPs or other your competitors that are working with that specific industry. And when you can't talk their language, yeah, it's not going to go well. And then they're going to ask for referrals. I don't know how many times, Greg, how many times have we been in meetings and they're like, hey, we want to speak with somebody else in our industry, a company of our size. And right, I mean,
Every time.
we've been doing this for almost 3 decades, and I cannot say without fail, they will always ask for somebody in that
Every time.
industry.
Every
Yeah.
time.
It's just part of business. People want to know they're working with experts in that area. All right, let's quickly go over engaging content because you want to create content that captures attention and drives action, right? You just don't want to write something and then fall off the cliff. You got to have a call to action. You got to encourage quick, simple actions. Download a guide, schedule a call, um, visit our site, something. Tell them. you got to tell them you need to do something. And best practices is you got to keep email messages under 150 words to maintain attention. Now, the subject line is going to be very important, and I hit on that in a little bit. But that subject line is your hook. If you can hook them with that subject, they're going to read your email. And if your email is too long, if it's too technical, too full of non-customer centric terminology, they're going to delete it. So think about what you're going to say. Now, what are you going to avoid? I just like exactly what I just said, overly technical language. Simplifying complex information needs to be created for non-technical recipients. Remember, C-level and VP level executives are the target market. They do not I've never ever been in a meeting where the executive is just talking turkey with Gregory about God, the inner workings of SIM technology, or the inner workings of EDR, or the inner workings of our tech stack. It's just not something they want to do. They want to know you can help them stay secure. Their data is always available. It's recoverable. We can restore quickly, right? So you want to keep all technical language out, and more on that next week. But you we'll dive into that later. Now, best practices for email length. I just mentioned that the subject line. The recommendations are 5 to 7 words in the subject line. Needs to be clear and concise, no more than 7 words. If you go beyond that, you're going to lose them. Okay. So remember, part of best practices for email length is the subject line cannot be more than 7 words. And during next week, we'll go into the email body, our bullet points necessary, the call to action, right? You need that information in there. You need to have a very well structured plan. Okay, what's really important is metrics, right? Metrics are the key to for you to track what's working, what's not working, right? And then it helps you to determine, okay, we need to focus more on, let's say, 75% of emails are open, 75% of security emails are opened over backup, or computer support, or let's say Office 365 emails, right? So you want to track what topic is popular and what is working, because you want to focus on what your audience is interested in. You want the goal is click through rates and increasing conversion rates, but you got to have something in place that measures your success. All right, the pitfalls you want to avoid. And the very first thing that comes to mind is long emails. I can't even explain how many times in the day, every day, I get an email and there's at least 200 to 300 words. No, and I shouldn't even say 300 words, for 300 plus words. It's insane how much people are writing in emails. They are writing you a novel, and it's not a good look. It's not a good practice. And that's one of the pitfalls you want to avoid. And we'll talk about the other bullet points that I'm going to be discussing during next week's call. But you want to avoid long emails. Long email. Well, yeah. Greg, anything you want to share on that, or?
Mm. Well, I mean, it's also the content of the email. I mean, if it's long and it's got great content, I don't mind it as much. But if it's got just sales jargon in it, I'm out of there.
Right? Yeah. If it, one of the things that we like to focus on is always keeping things very educational. You want to focus more on education. Keep them short, keep them sweet, and it's just you're just going to have a higher open rate. It's just too how can I say? People are busy. People are busy with their daily activities, and now you send them a long email and you expect them to read that. Yeah, it's just not going to work. It's not a good practice, and I'm going to encourage everybody to keep their messages very, very short. All right, I'm going to conclude with targeted emails, right? You're going to build stronger connections when you are talking to if you develop content that your prospects can relate to, right? If it's something that's solving a problem for them, if it's customer centric, you're going to hit a home run with these executives, because they're the ones that are going to make the decision. So you always want to target C and VP level executives. You do not want to send information to directors or IT managers. All right. I'm going to close it with quickly about the MSP Corner, and what our mission is obviously to deliver valuable content to its members. And Greg and I, we're founders of an MSP. We've been doing this for 25 plus years. We know the struggles many of you go through, and that it's the main reason we developed the platform, and it's designed to guide you through your challenges. And a lot of you, I know many of you struggle with building even email campaigns, selling value, implementing SEO best practices, things like that. And we want to offer these frameworks that solve your marketing and selling challenges. Plus, we're lining up resources because you guys need resources. They're going to help you with outbound campaigns, SEO, PPC, and much, much more, because it takes a village. You can't do this on your own. And I'm hoping I come across a vendor that has salespeople that can help, be a part-time salesperson for you guys. Because if you have too many leads coming in and you don't have the sales experience or the time to sell, maybe there's services out there that will help you sell your service. But I'm still haven't found anything, but I'm not giving up. Greg, any last words?
You haven't found anything in 20 years?
Well, let's just say uh, um, there's cold calling, experts out there. But I also think there's virtual assistants that might be able to do some of that selling for you. But I'm still looking into it. I'm not going to give up because haven't found anything yet. But yeah, I haven't found anything. So, but again, I'm not giving up. I'll
Well,
find some.
I've seen stuff, and I'll tell you that what I see is not very good. But I think that they oversell themselves, right? They overpromise and underdeliver, and they shouldn't do that, because they want to make the sale. If you told somebody for every 10,000 emails you send out, you could possibly get one lead. I mean, who wants to hear those statistics? That's horrible.
Yep. Yep.
So you're gonna be like, well, for every 10,000, you could get up to 10% return. That sounds way better. And then you sign up, you're all, oh yeah, 10% return. Well, not in a service industry, not in your market. I mean, they're not aware. They don't care that they're not aware either. They're just going to tell you what you want to hear. And what ends up happening is that you go into it like where they're promised, like we've gone through this hundreds of times, where people promise us 2 or 3 leads a month, right?
Yeah.
And it ends
Yeah.
up not happening at all. It ends up being 1 lead every 3 months, and you're like, "What's happening?" And they're like, we don't know."
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, and this is what I've discovered, and it's interesting that that I didn't figure it out sooner, and it was in front of me the entire time. Is you need a strategy. This just can't be a hey, let's just start cold calling small businesses, right? You just can't. And I went to a Microsoft webinar one time, and they're like, look, you have lots of competitors. You have, you all do essentially the same thing, but there are subtle differences. And I'm a little angry I didn't learn this early on, and it just finally hit like a while back here, 3 4 years ago, where well no, it's more than that. It's a bit longer than that, but you need to target a specific industry. You need to, when you have a message that resonates with an audience, you're not going to bat 1,000. So nobody can expect to hit 1,000, right? You're not gonna send out 100 emails and then all of a sudden you're going to get 100 leads. No, this one kid, I helped him set up a campaign back east. He sends out 250 messages every week. Every week, one of those turns into a lead. And it's because, and I'm going to tell you why. It's because he's targeting a specific size organization. He's sending it out to only C and VP level executives. And he's also sending them out in this area. And his messaging is so powerful that it hits home with a lot of these organizations. 250 emails every week, and you're generating 1 lead every week. That's not bad.
No,
That's not
that's
a
unheard of.
bad. Yeah,
That's unheard
not
of,
a bad
especially
number.
from email campaigns. That's like a miracle.
Yeah. No, and I'm staying in touch with them every week. How's it going? Do we need to make adjustments? How's what's the feedback? Any alerts from LinkedIn? Because LinkedIn, they flag you if you're sending out too many messages. But nothing yet. And the only thing he says is like, I'm getting a lead every week. Every week he's getting 1 lead. So that
That's a
tells
lot.
me, yeah, that's not bad. It's not bad. He's very happy. He's also happy I didn't charge him for my time, but he's he needs the help. He's a growing MSP and he doesn't have the funds for a marketing executive, but he sees that it's working. He sees that when you focus on an industry and you write a message that is targeted, it's laser focused to that industry. Because let me tell you something, one other thing that I didn't point out, and maybe I'll point it out during the live show, is the CEO and the CFO want to hear different things. They have different objectives. The CEO might be focused on sales and production, right? Where the CFO is more worried about legal issues and saving the company money. So, if you're going to send emails to or messages to a CEO and a CFO, they need to be different. That's just a matter of a fact. They don't have the same objectives. They have different initiatives and different goals. So if one of them is a decision maker and you send them the message with the right ring in there, you're gonna generate a lead. So it's really important, and that's the beauty of email. You can craft them up to be laser focused on not only the executive but also the industry. Now he's he's really excited. Now he's targeting 2 more industries. So he has 3 campaigns going out. And they're targeting and I'm helping him write messages for each industry because each industry has very specific, you need to write specific messages for each industry. So he's pretty excited. He's happy. But if he gets 3 campaigns going and he starts to produce 3 leads every week, he's going to go crazy.
Yeah.
So he's excited. He's excited. But, stay tuned. Stay tuned on how that goes because maybe we'll have him on a podcast. Maybe he'll share his success. But I'll definitely have him write a review. So we share it on the MSP Corner site. We share it on testimonials in our presentations because he's a great testimony. He's he believed in the system. He allowed me to guide him. He put his trust in me to help him implement not only a strategy but the messaging. He sucks at writing. He's a smart guy. I mean, brilliant guy, but he just sucks at writing. So he put his trust in me on writing up messages for these executives. So, and it's right now it's working out. Let's see how it goes. $200 a month, 4 leads a month. That's not bad. That's not bad.
No, that's great.
Bad. Yeah. Yep. Yes, it is. All right. Any last words, Greg? I'm ready to wrap this puppy up.
No, we're good.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. And don't forget to sign up to be a member at the mspcorner.com. Please share our link with a CEO who will find our information beneficial to their business. All right. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening. And don't forget to sign up to be a member on www.mspcorner.com. Please share our link with a CEO who will find our information beneficial to their business. Have an awesome day.